What's the deal, family? Welcome to another episode of Sips of Success. This is episode number 7. We are excited to continue doing these. I am Cameron. This is my beautiful wife.
Aaron, what's up, y'all?
What's the deal?
Okay, cheers. What are we sipping on?
We are sipping on Gimlets today.
Yes. This is one of our favorite cocktails. I feel
Yes.
like those gulps were so loud in the mic.
They could have been.
But yes, we will leave the recipe to the gimlet. Cameron's perfected this one. So,
Yeah.
And whenever I tell people I like gimlets or just gin in general, they're like, what? That's like an old man spirit. Or just like a hair on your chest type of spirit. But I like gin.
It could be if you just drink it straight. Then I would be concerned.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. I don't drink anything straight.
Yeah, that's very concerning if you're drinking any, like, for sure, gin straight.
Yeah, no.
But it's very refreshing. It's an easy go-to cocktail.
Yes.
When you're just trying to vibe out. You don't need a lot of it.
No,
Maybe
you don't.
one, at the most 2.
Exactly. Okay, so this or that.
Okay.
Would you rather have kids young, like early 20s, and they're still, like they're grown and you're still young? Or would you rather have them a little bit later, like 30s, even mid to late 30s, and you've lived your 20s and you've lived your 30s to the max, and you're raising kids a little bit later than the average? Which one would you rather?
I feel like, well, first of all, I'm already 30, so we don't have kids yet, so I can't really say. But I've always preferred to just have them at some point in my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine myself having kids at no point in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you feel like you are more established in your 30s? Well, I mean, you're 30, but
yeah.
do you feel like that's why?
No, I can say even before any establishment even started to occur, I just couldn't see myself with kids in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about my 20s or even just college or mid 20s or just late 20s, if you look at college is college. Like, I don't want no kids in college. I'm focused on too much of everything else. I feel like I was not equipped for sure to do so.
Yeah.
Mid 20s, I mean, you're starting out. If I did, I guess, okay or whatever, but I still wouldn't prefer that.
Yeah.
And then right now, late to now 30, late 20s to now 30, we're married, and I've just been enjoying our marriage.
Yeah.
Honestly. Not saying that having a kid, if we had a kid right now, it's kind of is what it is. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But
for me, it's weird. I wish there was a way to be both. Because I think the idea of having a young mom is cool.
Yeah.
Or just young parents in general.
Yeah.
I do think that people with younger parents are able to relate to their parents a little bit easier than people with older parents. However, the level that you're established as you grow older, I feel like equips you to be able to have a family in a more comfortable way.
Yeah.
So if I was 26, 27 and just like, I don't know, like basically a billionaire, I would definitely be having kids in my 20s.
Oh, yeah, because now, I mean, what else?
Even a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Like, because at that point, it's just, I feel like, I don't know.
So is money it?
I don't think money is it. There's so many factors, because if I'm not in a relationship at that point, then no, I'm not having a child. Or if I'm not married, I would say.
Yeah.
If I'm not married at that point, then I'm definitely not. And it just depends on my life experiences. Like, you see a lot more. What you about to say?
Well, what if you did have a kid and you weren't married?
Well, then I would just have a kid.
Okay. You said definitely not, so I was just trying to.
I would
clear
prefer to be married.
Yeah, because sometimes that
Yeah.
when you out here being grown, I guess things like that can happen.
Yeah, not for me. Definitely not. But I do think that there is something beautiful about being ready to have kids.
Yeah.
I never imagined, I don't care if I was 25 or 35, I never imagined myself having children as a surprise.
Right.
And I don't think anybody imagines that. but I definitely made sure that that didn't happen.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. If I had to pick, I would say I would rather be a little bit older but more established, have lived my younger years like what I feel to the fullest, and then been like, okay, I think I'm ready to embark on having kids. That would be my preference.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
guess either or could work. It's just about what you how you make your life go regardless.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
curious to know what you guys
Yeah, what would you do?
would rather. Obviously,
I
this is
guess
hypothetical and not to necessarily answer based on your current situation. You know,
yeah.
like
It's just like
it's
if
like
you
hypothetically speaking.
in the
which
perfect
one?
world,
Yeah.
what would you do?
Yeah. Because some people, like one of my cousins, he's like, I wanted to be a young dad. He's 27 and they have a 1-year-old. So I feel like he's
Who
like
was
an
that?
average age. Marcel.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he's 26. I don't know. But he like wanted to start a family young.
Early?
Like he wanted to be a young dad. And I feel like that's totally fine.
We need to have Marcel and Celeste on
Yeah,
here.
we should.
That would be cool.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
Okay, some of you guys were a little triggered from the last episode.
Yeah.
The stay-at-home mom or dad situation. I think that a lot of people have what that is kind of confused, or maybe whatever the definition of that is. And maybe you didn't hear us correctly. But if we were to either or be a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, then it would be for a reason, because either one of us has something going on that we both need to put our best effort forward in, or that's just something we've agreed to.
Yeah.
For us, for her and I specifically, it would be because someone else, one of the two of us, has something that we need both of us going forward in.
And it's a common
100%.
goal.
Yeah.
Like it's not like
It's
if I was a stay-at-home mom, I'd be sitting around twiddling my thumbs, shopping all day, like doing whatever, you know, like
Yeah.
that's to me, that is a role. Like
Yeah.
you're playing a very avid role. And it's just interesting to me when the stay-at-home mom or the housewife is not as frowned upon as being a stay-at-home dad. And then it's weird because people complain that, I mean, I've seen videos on Instagram of like a wife cleaning up and people will be like, well, where's your husband? Like, why isn't he helping you? And it's just like, baby, this is one angle. He might not want to be on camera. You know, like it's stuff like that where people just assume that their way of thinking is the way that it's supposed to go for everyone. And it's just not true. If we're both working toward a common goal and it works for us, then I think that that's just where it starts and ends.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's simple as that.
Yeah. But as for if, oh shoot, I lost my train of thought.
Well, anyway, I don't know. I just think that when I think of a stay-at-home parent or spouse or whatever, you got it now?
No, keep going.
When I think of a stay-at-home like spouse or a parent, I'm thinking for us, I'm thinking it's working it's for the best that someone is at home. But it may not even mean at home. It just could mean like last year for actually a whole 2022? We had an office for a year.
Oh yeah.
We leased out a loft style apartment, and we had an office, and guys, I still work. So
Yeah.
I still work my 9 to 5. It is, I feel like it's starting to get in the way a little bit. There's things or variables that have come that's kind of leading us into, and that's why we kind of talked about that topic. Like, at what point does things shift, and when it does shift, are you willing to tackle it? Are you know what I'm saying? Are you willing to like take on that new challenge, and what does life look like now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, but to me, I feel like we both need to max out our roles and what they look like now.
Yeah.
And it's like, if we can both contribute to the house, if we can both contribute to working, and regardless of if someone has makes more or less than the other, we both know that there's a common goal that we're both maxing out our roles in order to get to.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to stay at home
Anything.
whatever, you have to just decide, what does that look
What
like
does that
for
look
you?
like? Yeah.
Like, you can be out traveling, speaking, your partner can be at home, maybe taking care of the kids, but also editing videos or helping with the
Yeah.
bookkeeping of the business or managing some of the finances or cooking or whatever. Like, it might not, you might have a private chef, but still be a stay-at-home mom or
Yeah.
dad. And that role has just been delegated. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I
exactly.
think it really just depends. I don't know.
Yeah, it's whatever you, I guess, you look at it as. You need to make your life work for whatever that is.
Yeah.
And I just put on Threads today. Uh
You and your
I
threads.
know. I be having little thoughts when I be on the treadmill at the gym.
Threading on the tread.
Thre- no, you can't make an excuse for what you decide your life is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be sorry to others for what you decide you want your life to look like. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So everybody's situation is different. And then I think you need to take it as face value for your life.
Yeah.
Um,
So I have a question.
okay.
If you were to become a stay-at-home dad
Mm-hmm.
or a house husband, what would your day-to-day look like?
Good question. I think first of all, right now I work my 9 to 5, and then I also work for Aaron. So I'm doing double the work,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it
We love that
every
for
day.
me.
So honestly, I don't think it would look any different than now. I think in replacement of like my 9 to 5, I would find something else to supplement that portion or whatever. But other than that, we get up. Our routine right now is we get up, we go to the gym, we come home, we eat, we work. You shoot a video 1 or 2 times a week. I set up the camera. I edit, so I'm editing a couple times throughout the week. I don't know. I don't think that it would be too much different based on our current routine.
Yeah.
Now it would be different if I was like going into an office,
Yeah.
or now that would
I
then
think
look
it
different.
might look different too if we
Yeah.
did have kids.
Yeah.
And we have that extra layer of responsibility. Like, a baby can't just
Right.
watch itself. So,
Yeah.
you know, obviously we have a lot of support.
A
Our
whole lot of
moms, our
support.
families are super supportive. So we're
Yeah.
thankful for that. But, you know, who knows what the day-to-day can look like. I feel like, actually, on a slight tangent, we had a post about our marriage meetings. And we do these meetings like maybe once or twice a month. Like, I would say like bi-weekly. We tried to do them bi-weekly. And someone was like, people will always say like, wait until you have kids. You know, this is never going to happen anymore. You're going to be so busy or so exhausted or whatever. And it's just honestly sad how many people project their negative experiences onto people. And I don't think it's with bad intention. I feel like most people do it with the thought of being honest or real. That's what they think they're doing, even though they're projecting their own negative experiences onto someone else. But I also feel like that's even more of a reason to have certain systems and routines in place. So that way, once you do introduce a life-changing anything
Such as a
into
baby.
it, like a baby,
But my thing
you
is,
have
though,
some, and then you start incorporating that into those meetings,
my
and like
thing
have
is,
family
though,
meetings.
is there nothing else as big as having a child? Is that the only thing that can alter your life significantly? You know what I'm saying? We forget that people lose people sometimes. People get fired from their job. Like, there's a many of significant life-changing things that can happen at an instant. You know what I'm saying? Even when you get pregnant, you got 9 months to prepare for that. 10 months, even longer.
9 is
But you get what I'm saying, though? I just feel like I feel like when we have like these conversations, or people who do have conversations as such, it's like having a kid is the only thing that can flip your
derail
world.
everything.
Yeah, like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, my life is done. Like, that's kind of how people come across as my life is over. And then kind of out of the other side of your mouth, it's like having kids is great. So which one is it? I'm really like confused on that part of it. But like, for us, yes, we talk about kids. Do we want kids? Absolutely. All those good things. When we have kids, it's
We
just like
will
anything.
see.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
anything else in life. We plan a whole bunch of stuff. Some things haven't gone how we planned it, but I can absolutely say things have been great,
Yeah.
even though we didn't plan it in such a way.
Or it just feels better going through
Yeah,
something when you know that you have some type of something to fall onto. Like you
yeah,
have a plan, you've thought through as much as you could.
could, yeah,
And you're like, if it doesn't happen this way, oh well, at least I did my part in what I could control, which
yeah.
was me preparing for something. And it's just kind of like if you, I don't know, have a speech and you're like, you have the speech outlined
You've been
and
practicing
you've
for
been
like weeks.
practicing and you're ready,
You're right.
and then you get up there and something in your heart is like, say something different, and
Yeah,
you're like, okay, I'm gonna go with it, but you
right.
still have your speech there in case you want to look back or fall back
Or
onto
catch a
it.
little like note or idea of
Yeah,
what
I
where you
just
were
think
going.
it's smart to be as prepared as you can be,
Yeah,
and then take the challenge and understand that, okay, I know that I don't know what this means, but I'm ready to accept the fact that I don't have as much control as I think,
yeah,
and that's fine, you know.
yeah,
But I, when it comes to kids, I feel like everyone just, I know we will be so mindful of that when we have children. And there are a few people who we've talked to who have kids, and they're just like, we will never say anything negative. Like, obviously, it's going to
yeah,
change your world for the better, but it's doable. Like,
yeah,
you are doing what it takes to be able to have a baby and integrate it into the life that you've already begun to set the foundation for. And I appreciate when people say things
yeah,
like that. And like, let people come to you with their questions. Like if I
yeah.
ask you a question, then obviously I want you to be
Right.
honest with me. But people just lead with the most negative thing.
It's
Like,
it's really
they
it makes
never
you
lead with like, oh my gosh, I love my baby. Like, I'm
yeah.
obsessed. Like, I just can't even imagine living without them. Like, that always kind of comes after the, oh my God, your life is finna change, but it's the best thing that can ever happen to you. And it's like, baby, you could have saved that but, because
Yeah.
you basically negated that with the negative thing that you said
Of how
right
you say
before it.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would prefer if you have like that negative energy toward a baby because I personally think when we have kids that it will be adding to our lives, not taking
Yes.
away. It's just like anything else. Like having a kid has to add to your life. Obviously, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. All these over here 4.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Not for kids.
no. I was saying 1,
As in,
2.
well, they can't see you on Spotify.
Well, 1 as in me, 2 as in Aaron, my wife, 3 as in the
I'm
child,
just
and
clarifying.
4 as in our dog
Who pushing
Audie.
out 3 kids? Not me. Unless the Lord puts triplets in my womb,
Ooh.
there is just no
All
way.
right, enough about that triplet
But,
talk.
but yeah, I mean,
I don't. I just think it should be an addition to your life, and you need to take because it's like people will say, "Oh, having a baby is a blessing," but like you will make someone feel like, "How is that a blessing?" Based on how you're talking about your child, essentially, or your experience with having a baby.
yeah,
Like you're allowing this, you're allowing you having a baby and putting your negative experience, which I don't even know if it's a negative experience. You're just making it bad,
seem
baby.
like it is. Yeah, I'm really inspired by people who just honestly amp up the momentum once they have a kid. Like, oh my God, I have even more purpose.
Right.
I am going 10 times harder because, and not just with work, but just like in life. Like,
Yeah.
my life just, it feels different because I have legacy now. Like, I
Right.
have something to do this for, you
Right.
know? And so I think those are the people that I'm inspired by. Like, I can list off a whole bunch of moms that I'm like, you know what? I love that you still prioritize you as a person, as a woman, as a wife, and as a mom.
Exactly.
And that hasn't just completely overtaken every single thing that you have to where you're blaming not having something on your kids,
Right.
you know? So, I mean, everybody handles things differently. I also understand that we are blessed with the life that we have. We've also worked very, very hard to create what we have so that we can have a family and be comfortable, and we can both be home with our child, and that's just such a luxury today.
Yeah.
So,
And we have an amazing family.
mhm.
Don't get it twisted. Like even if we went to work, our moms they step up for everything, and they would even more step up for a child. They can't wait. So our like at the end of the day, like
Gosh.
our supporting cast is phenomenal in all ways, even without a kid. So when a kid comes,
Yeah.
I can't even wait to see what that is going to look like.
Yeah.
So, and
I
that's
feel
our
like
experience. That's what we have. You know, we can't speak for everyone, but we're also not trying to go into it with like this negative mindset that,
yeah.
oh man, having a kid
Because
is
if
just
that's
going
the
to
case, I'm
just
gonna be
derail the
like,
whole
you know
situation.
what? We really are just fine with us, you know?
Right.
Which I know we want to have kids. It's
Yeah.
just when people say things like that, it just almost makes you be like,
I can wait a little
yeah,
longer.
I can
Yeah.
wait a little bit longer. But the golden question is, are we like ready to have kids? When do we think we want to have kids? Why do y'all keep talking about kids? Well, we haven't talked about kids since it's been Sips of Success, I don't think. But what would you answer to that?
My answer is to that is I'm ready when she ready. Yeah,
He puts the ball in my court,
yeah.
and then it makes me look like the bad guy when we have still.
No, absolutely, she's not the bad guy. It's just
I'm just
I'm
joking,
just
babe.
ready when you're ready.
Yeah. You know. Whew.
Honestly, guys, we're having an amazing
my
time in our
goodness.
marriage. We've been creating experiences. We've been
Yes.
having experiences, and everything has been such a joy.
Yeah.
And we even like Aaron just recently surprised me with a trip to New York for Christmas, and something that we talked about maybe like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this has been like a thing
An
brewing.
ongoing thing.
Yeah. But basically, she surprised me with this trip to New York, but not just to go to New York. It's to experience like the holidays, Christmas time there.
Yeah. And we want to do it like all
We want to
over
do
the
this
world.
like annually and pick different like famous or not famous spots that like have good Christmas energy or whatever,
Yeah.
and that we can do
Now and then also when we have
kids.
kids.
And honestly, now that this thing is real or whatever, it's kind of like man, it would be cool if we did have a kid to take with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to.
I think we have those moments where we're like,
yeah.
like we have moments where we're like, oh, that would be so cute, and then we have moments where we're like, oh God, we're
Yeah,
glad we
can't-
don't have none yet. You know, like we're
Yeah.
easing out of the no phase.
Yeah.
Not yet into the that seems cute-ish phase.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're
for
not
sure.
like 100% there. We probably won't even tell you guys when we're 100% there and we're like trying to actually conceive, but we're not 100% there yet.
No.
Trust me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This was a good one. I just think that make your life what you want to make it. We
Yeah.
understand that it's not quote unquote easy as it can come or seem for others, but it really is what you make it. Aaron and I, we've always had this idea of what we wanted our lives to look like, and honestly, what we've planned, none of it has gone to like what we've planned it as. But because we did prepare in some type of way, or because we did plan in some type of a way, there's been things that have been put in place that have come from preparation. So
Yeah, I agree.
you know what I'm saying? I think that for what it's worth, we are making our lives, you know, we are making the best of our lives. You know what I'm saying?
agree.
I don't think there's no other way to put it, but I do think that we are making the best of our situation. And we're blessed. We're happy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it any other way. I don't regret anything. I don't, you know what I'm saying? There's just like, you got to find the joy in like the journey of where you are. So whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're trying to date, whatever that may be, whether you're just trying to start a business or you're trying to get through school or you're trying to get this dream job, whatever the case may be, you have to enjoy the process of what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what you plant or what you think is going to come is not.
It goes for anything, and it's almost just like saying, well, there's no point in preparing for anything in life.
Right.
You know, if you're okay with such a huge change without any preparation, then that's fine. Because obviously we only can control what we can control. But I think that if you can say like you're never going to be prepared for a baby, then you might as well say that with everything. You're never going to be prepared for home ownership. You're never going to be prepared for marriage. You're never going to be prepared to have a business. But it's like, well, what do you do? And like preparation to me means action and taking steps toward something that you want. And I feel like God blesses us when we do walk in faith through action and through preparation. To me, that's what preparation is.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely
anyway, y'all, make sure you leave a comment or on YouTube or a review on Spotify. We're trying to up in the ranks, and Apple. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, please leave us a review or rate the podcast. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And we got tough skin, so be honest.
We love
honest feedback.
Yeah, we like to see the feedback, but we might be able to expound a little bit because I think some people may be confused and some people may just not really hear what we're saying. Mm-hmm. And
I don't mind a little controversy. I'm used
and
to
if you,
it.
But I was also gonna say if you
state your opinion, if the this or that is triggering,
but it's all hypothetical.
We don't care.
Yeah, we really don't.
We don't take any hard feelings.
But also, it's just like if you do have an opposing opinion, let that be your opinion. Don't try to
convince us
because we're not gonna be convinced
think how we think.
Yeah, like
we still living our lives. Trust us. So
it is what it is. But anyway, if you rock with me, then you rock with us. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. We will see you on the next one.
Bye. I'm always done before you because you don't
lush.